CEO Ronald Hickler from Creating the Difference. Man, we got some bowling balls to show you today. We got a GB4 from Ebonite. Got that new urethane hammer, Black Widow. Something everybody's kind of looking forward to finding more information about. That high rev offset, that 3D offset from Hammer. New Deviate collision bowling ball and a Motive Mythic Jackal. Got my man Billy Levan throwing some shots today. He's going to start off throwing that GB4 on our fresh house shot. We'll post exactly what the layouts are on all these balls. They're all drilled the exact same. GB4. Oh, so Billy will have to make a little adjustment off of that and move in a little bit. Obviously, that ball hooks a decent amount. Man, if you like this kind of content, these kind of videos we're doing, man, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and do us a favor, share this video, share it on social media, share it with your friends. Let them know what we're doing over here, trying to figure out what the best method is to get you quality ball reviews. And that is one of the things that we are working on here at TrueBallReviews.com. Moves in a little bit, makes an adjustment. Ooh, GB4. Nice, nice. Okay, all right. So he's got him a little line out there, and you can actually see it. It is the yellow line. We're using clutch bowling technology, will allow you to be able to see exactly where the ball's going. So he's gonna throw that shot again. Looks good. 10 back. All right, so there's GB4. So let's go take a peek at another shiny ball from the Brunswick family, which is the Deviate Collision. So we're gonna grab the Deviate Collision, and we're gonna stay in that same part of the lane, the same kind of line, and kind of see how the Deviate Collision compares to the Ebonite GB4. All right, so we'll have to throw it again, but definitely a little different in shape, right? Maybe a little more on the angular side. Throw a couple more shots, we'll figure it out. He didn't like that one. That one off his hand wasn't very good, so we'll let him throw that again. So we'll see if how that ball rolls. All right, so we're gonna have him throw that ball again. See what the collision's all about. Ring 10. Ring 10. So a little different shape. We will throw that one more time. See what that does. All right, looks good. That's pretty good. So actually, that ball is not too far off from the GB4. Not too far off. So let's go to the next polished ball, which is the Mythic Jackal from Motive. So we're going to change it up, change companies, change directions. Check out this Mythic Jackal real quick. See how it rolls. Same line though. We're not moving. We're playing the same part of the lane. Close. Oh, Mythic Jackal got a little back into it. So just kind of first shot impression there. That ball is more angular. And I don't know if you saw that. You may want to rewind the video a little bit. But definitely that ball got down the lane a little longer and made a harder change of direction. Now the total amount of hook wasn't that different, right? Because all the balls have struck, but where it did it on the lane kind of mattered a little bit. So you might be able to see a little better from this angle. We'll do it again. So you can see right there what I'm talking about. That ball is definitely cleaner than the previous two balls and more responsive to the friction. Total hook's the same, but how it gets there is different. We're gonna do it one more time, one more shot with that ball. That ball's pretty solid. That's wide right, but it'll come back simply because it's angular. So angular balls, when they miss like that, like he missed to the right, obviously, but the ball recovered because the ball has the ability to store the energy, see the friction, and then really bounce off of it. Now, conversely to that, let's go take a peek at the Urethane Black Widow. And I'm telling you why conversely, because the Black Widow Urethane ball is going to be the dead opposite ball motion of that Mythic Jackal. So we'll have him throw that in the exact same spot, and we're going to take a look and see kind of how it performs now as well. Urethane is more early and smoother. Now watch this. So that first shot hook, you're like, holy cow, this ball hooks a lot. But what I'm going to tell you is, with Urethane, the first shot never really counts. And the reason why it doesn't count is because Urethane needs to get a little bit of oil on the cover. But watch, he'll throw that similar type shot, and this ball's going to flare a lot too. You'll see. It's got a Black Widow core in it. I know the designer of that ball shape, or that core shape. And it's kind of cool to keep seeing that shape being used over and over again. Anyway, so throw the same shot, Billy. Throw in the same part of the lane, repeat the shot. I want to teach people something about Urethane balls in general. Now he's wiping the ball off. He's wiping it off every shot. He's getting all the oil off the ball. That doesn't matter. Urethane has this really unique property where the first shot with a fresh cover does not roll the same as the second or the third. Now he did miss right, but you can see that ball did not hook at all as much as the shot before. And why? Is because now the ball's got a little oil on the cover. So one more shot, same part of the lane, and then we'll let him move around a little bit, because obviously this ball's gonna hook a lot less. And that's something to keep in mind. If you're bowling with the Urethane ball and you freshly surfing up that ball, you need to make sure that you throw a couple shots with it in practice, because if you don't, you're going to see a drastic change in ball motion initially, and you may not understand why. And that, my friend, is how a Urethane ball actually rolls. So it actually either hooks early and then goes straight, or doesn't hook at all. Now, obviously, because we're bowling on a house pattern where the reactive balls roll really good in that part of the lane, the Urethane ball rolls like crap. So that's a real good sign to let you know that if you're throwing a reactive ball on a lane pattern, that you probably don't need to be throwing a Urethane ball. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and move to the right, Billy, square up a little bit, because that's what you're gonna have to do if you wanna strike with that Urethane ball. And let's see kind of the reaction that we get when you square up. Now you squared up perfectly, just like that. So that's the line. So right there, I mean, I want to just let you kind of see real quick how much difference there is with the Urethane ball versus a reactive ball, because people, they don't understand that. I mean, there's a big, big difference in terms of where you're having to throw the ball to be able to get that ball to strike. So don't get it twisted. You need to basically know if you need to throw a Urethane ball or a reactive, but they are not the same. They don't roll the same. And that's quite honestly why the majority of the length patterns you bowl on, most people throw it more like Billy than like Jason Belmonte, and they don't need a Urethane ball. All right, now we're gonna look at the one that everybody's wanting to see, which is the high rev 3D offset. This is one of the most popular balls ever from the late great Mo Pinnell. And Hammers decided to bring that back, and I am pretty pumped myself to see how this ball rolls down the lane. Now a little wide right, blower 710, but the ball recovered pretty nice actually, so that's good. That's good to see. Definitely was a little wide right, but definitely made a move. So this ball, I can tell you just from that first shot, looks like it's going to be a continuous ball, and a good one, a good hooking one. So we're going to throw some more shots here, kind of see how this ball performs. And we'll start moving around with this ball once we line up. But at first, we're going to stay in the part of the lane where all the other balls were, just so you have a good comparison. And you can kind of see some of the shape differences between these balls. Woo! Stone 8-pin. Stone 8-pin. Nice. All right, one more shot with that ball in that same part of the lane. I want to let you guys see the low angle. Definitely a strong ball. I know this one is kind of highly anticipated, so definitely good to see it coming out the gate here with some pretty good performance. That should be money. 10 back. So you can kind of see a couple of things here, right? So one, on this pattern, really all the balls are kind of close in terms of total hook. The difference is except for that Widow, right? The Widow definitely is a much weaker ball, weaker hooking ball because it's urethane. But the way the ball's going to the pins isn't quite the same either, right? So that's also a useful case scenario when we start to move. So Billy, I want you to go ahead and start with that high rev 3D offset and move in. We're gonna move in a little bit from where you've been playing. And we're gonna see kind of how the ball handles in the oil, and then we'll see how it handles a little bit in the dry, and then we'll grab some of the other balls and check out the quote-unquote versatility of these balls. So he's gonna move in now with the high rev. All right, good shot. The ball got back to the pocket but was light. So staying right there, we have a new line. We're gonna stay there and we're gonna grab the Mythic Jackal, which is the angular ball, whereas the 3D offset is a continuous ball. And you say, well, how do you know when to throw what? And this is gonna kind of teach you that, right? Because in theory, the Mythic Jackal is gonna be a lot cleaner than the high rev offset was. Similar line. More responsive, down lane, almost strikes, right? So definitely more angle, right? Not as flat from that line, but not quite enough to kick out the corner pin too. So now we're gonna go see the collision. Let's throw the collision in that same part of the lane. Little wide right. So let's do that one more time. Let's do that one more time. It was a little right, not crazy bad. The ball did recover, but it was definitely a little right. So that would tell me, he's going to throw another shot right there, but that would tell me that the collision is a bigger hooking ball, right? It can handle more of the oil than the other two balls, which is also useful information. And we're going to post all of the RG differential and mass bias numbers for all of these balls on the video, so you'll be able to see what we're talking about, what we're throwing. Now that one's in. Let's see if it pushes. Oh, he missed in and it pushed. Big deal. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, because that means he's got a little room for error with that ball, which also tells me that collision may be a better option for this house environment, and maybe a better option for the lower rev rate player. One more time. That one's going to be in too. All right, fair enough. We know what the collision does. So now we're gonna change balls and we're gonna look at that GB4 inside here too. Let's check out the GB4, how it performs inside as well. But right now, of the balls he's thrown, definitely big fan. You know what? Don't do that. Go grab the Widow, because we're gonna be able to eliminate the Widow pretty quick. Definitely a big fan of that collision ball. Well, this ball obviously should not work really well here. Nope, she ain't coming back. Just what you would expect. That ball did not strike. We'll throw that one more time. Pink Black Widow. Now, I will tell you this. The ball is a pretty ball. So it'll go out, but it will not recover. Now, it did pick up enough to strike, but it definitely did not, like, recover in a way that you would say, ah, well, that ball is the ball I need to be throwing right now. So anyway, okay, cool. So now let's grab that GB4. We'll throw the GB4 inside, kind of see how it rolls in there. And look, GB4 ain't no joke. Nice, okay. All right, cool. So last little test I want to try. Let's go outside now. We've played in the right part of the lane. We've moved inside. Now we're going to move outside. Start with that GB4. Take it outside. Get to the dry part of the lane. See how she performs. So GB4's got some versatility to it. There we go. GB4 said, I don't care where you want to throw me, I'm striking today. Interesting. Okay, that was definitely further right. Now let's grab that Pink Widow. Let's grab the Pink Widow. Pink Widow, same part of the lane, getting it further outside. That's even further out. Did not recover. It's further out. We'll throw it again, but I'm hoping you can see urethane has its place, but typically it's not in league. And typically it's not for, lower REV players, and typically it's not in a situation that, you need a lot. Now remember, the guys you see throwing this stuff, they got RPM rates that are double what Billy's is. So that's one reason why they can throw those balls and get away with it, and we amateurs can't. Hook. All right, and then you get the 10 pin to go along with it. All right, fair enough. So that ball would not really be in play here. So let's grab another ball. Let's throw the Mythic Jackal angular piece. Now here's what's funny about angular balls. Everybody likes seeing their ball go sideways down lane, but that isn't always what you necessarily need. And here's one reason why. So we're gonna move in, or back out, we're gonna move out. We're gonna be in the dry part of the lane, but watch how the ball responds to the friction now. Well, that wasn't a bad response at all to the friction. Now, it was further right, but it definitely bing bang off the back end. Throw it again for me, Billy. One more time for those that weren't watching. Maybe they closed their eyes. They blinked. And I'm actually gonna stay with the high view, I think, this time. See it respond? That's kind of what I was expecting. So you see how that ball, it just reads the friction too hard, that's all. So that's more like what I was expecting to see happen out of that ball, and now it did it. So fair enough. So we've thrown 3 of the balls. Let's get that collision out there though. The deviate collision. Let's throw it out there, kind of see how it rolls. Get a nice fresh rack going up there. Collision. 10 back. Oh, blower 710. So that ball ran out of energy, right? It looked like it looked really good actually, but then it couldn't go through the pins really well. Did not finish very well through the pins. So interesting. Not necessarily that surprising, because like I said, it seems to be like it's one of the stronger balls that we're throwing here today on this pattern. So seeing more friction means hook a little early. Hook a little early means not as continuous down lane. So we're gonna throw that one more time. Let's see what that does. Yeah, you can see it. So it's just a little flat. I mean, the ball's just flat. So that part of the lane is not good for that ball. And that's a telltale sign that you have the wrong ball in your hand. So we're gonna grab the high rev 3D offset and throw it out there. And you know what? We've got openings and opportunities for you to join our staff. You can join our staff at ctdbowling.com. Regional staff, it's free. You get to watch videos like this as well as some additional content. Offset. That looks good. And you can see that ball went through the pins a lot better. So great example of, you know, great ball motion versus not great ball motion in that part of the lane. If you were bowling and you saw the deviate collision ball do what it did, going to that 3D offset would be a good change. Now, we haven't thrown the GB4 yet outside. We did throw the GB4 outside. Oh yeah, that's right. So actually we've thrown all 5 balls outside now, so you've been able to see kind of what they do. So real quick, Billy, I'm gonna just kind of get your opinion real quick on a couple of the balls. Tell me a little bit about what you think on the deviate collision ball. What do you think about that ball?
I liked it, but obviously, like you said, if you get it out into the dry, it wants to burn up real early, leave some flat stuff. But in the oil, it was really good, really strong, and I had a lot of room with it. Okay,
what about the 3D offset?
3D offset I really liked, but it was real strong on the back end, and I just had to get that really good angle into it to get some carry. Otherwise, I was leaving a lot of stuff.
Okay, Pink Widow?
Pink Widow, I don't have many revs, so the Pink Widow, it's nice if I had to play real straight with it, and I mean, it could work like that, but trying to swing it was not good for me.
Hey man, you want to bowl for $1,000, me versus you, but you got to throw Pink Widow?
No.
All right, what about the Mythic Jackal?
I like the Mythic Jackal. It had a really good back end, really carried the pins good, and kind of got to throw it a little bit everywhere, and it kind of struck a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, that one looked really good. That probably was the most versatile ball that we had here. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the GB4?
Really, really surprised on the Pearl and the GB4. I didn't think it'd have that continuous on it, and it was really strong on the back end and really went through the pins no matter what part of the lane I was going on.
Awesome, awesome. So now you got some more information about these 5 bowling balls. They are all available at bowlingforless.com. Just go to bowlingforless.com. And you know what? If you buy a ball from bowlingforless.com, you also are able to get a True Cut sanding pad with your order free. And if you're on our staff, you actually get a discount on bowling balls from bowlingforless.com. So on behalf of Billy Levan, I am CEO Ronald from Creating the Difference. Talk to you soon.